Well, I think the election once again proved that the American democratic process is alive, vital, strong. It's the 58th such election that we've had under our Constitution, and it is, I think, a testament to our tradition and our democratic values. Having followed the polls very closely, of course, most of them predicted a slight advantage for Secretary Clinton. And so I have to say I was probably as surprised as many people at the result this morning. But it was fairly clear early on as the returns came in that the momentum had shifted to Mr. Trump. And here we are. We have a new president-elect. I can't claim to be an expert political analyst, and I need to be a little bit careful as a U.S. government representative in getting too far into American domestic politics. But certainly what so many of the commentators were talking about in the media over the course of the night was that this reflected a desire on the part of so many people for a change. And Mr. Trump represents a new face in politics anyway, so I think probably at the fundamental, that's probably the fundamental factor in this. But I know in the weeks and months to come there are going to be a lot of analyses and a lot of commentary. So I'll leave it to the experts. Well, we'll have to see. I suspect tomorrow it's going to look a whole lot like it did yesterday. There will be fewer campaign posters up, but I think life will get back to normal. How it's going to look in 2 years or 4 years, we'll just have to see. It'll depend on how Mr. Trump elaborates his priorities, how effective his government is in implementing his policies and priorities. And of course, there are outside events in the world that can have an impact as well. So. Certainly, Mr. Trump will bring a different perspective and a different tone to our foreign policy. I've served now under 5 presidents. Mr. Trump will be my 6th. I started under President Reagan. And now President Obama is finishing up his administration. What I've observed over the course of my 30-some year career is that there are 3 basic U.S. strategic values that we pursue. Promotion of democratic values, promotion of shared prosperity, and promotion of shared security. We'll see how President-elect Trump addresses these priorities. He will certainly bring his own perspective to them. He has had some things to say about free trade agreements that have been concluded in the past. So my guess is, my assumption would be that when his administration comes in, they'll take a very close look at the work that's been done to see what they might be able to support or what they might want to change. America fundamentally is a trading nation. So much of our prosperity depends on foreign trade. What I took away from the election was that there was a deep debate about the rules of the trade and how it affects employment and workers. So I think my guess is the new administration is going to take a very close look at that aspect. Certainly having a Slovenian American in the White House as the First Lady is a new development in the bilateral relationship. Slovenia and the United States are, of course, NATO allies. Slovenia is a member of the European Union, also has a voice and participates in some of the big issues that get debated between our 2 countries. But having a First Lady could be very special. Again, well, I don't want to get ahead of where the first family is, but it will certainly be interesting to see how that plays out.